I've been getting a lot of DMs and comments lately about LaGuardia and how to get from LaGuardia to New York City. And I've also been getting a lot of questions about the subway, so I figured I would go ahead and put them in the same video. So here we go. No matter which terminal you come out of, you're going to get kicked out into the baggage claim area. There's going to be signs like this all over the place. New York City is really good at giving you directions. So what I suggest is to get a MetroCard, because the unlimited MetroCard makes it really easy to go all over the city. And trust me when I say it really racks up, because last time I was there, I think it was $275 a ride. So the unlimited card is only $33 for 7 days. And if you think $275 per, down somewhere and then back up somewhere and maybe go somewhere in between, it all adds up really fast. So the $33 deal is a good bet because you're going to at least use that much anyway. I have a stack of MTA cards that I've collected over the years of going back and forth. If you want, you can just look for one on the ground and go ahead and refill it. Otherwise, if you get a new one, it is going to charge you $1. So just FYI. If you do want to refill a MetroCard, you're going to go over to add time, and that's how you get to the unlimited option. It also gives you the option if you just want to load like $25 on there or whatever. But you can do credit card or cash. Either one works. Like, it's really easy, guys. They make it really easy. After you get your MetroCard, you're going to want to head outside and follow the arrows that say where the public buses are, basically. And now LaGuardia offers a number of options to get into the city. I'm going to show you how to take the Q70. That's the free bus. It's basically a free shuttle to go to one of the main stations, but here's an idea of where all the other ones connect. If you're trying to get somewhere like Harlem or somewhere more uptown, you're going to want to take the M60 bus, because that goes right along 125th Street, and from 125th you can hit the red line, the yellow line, the blue line. There's a lot of different places to connect on 125th Street. It's going to be faster for you to do it that way than going into Midtown and then coming back up and down. I suggest getting your MetroCard inside at the airport because there's a lot of people to help, and also it gets pretty crazy if you're in Midtown trying to get an MTA card. There's just a lot of scammers around and you don't want to have to deal with them, so I'm just giving you the easiest option here. And the 70 you can just hop on because it is a free shuttle bus, but if you're taking the M60, you need to run your MetroCard here. It's going to print out a receipt, and then you just keep that in your pocket in case like the transit police get on the bus. It hardly ever happens, but they'll ask for your receipt. So if they ask for your receipt, that's the receipt that you show them to show proof that you paid for your MetroCard, because also on these buses like the M60, you just go right on. And if you haven't been to New York in a long time, this is probably like a crazy concept for you, because you literally just walk right onto all the buses now after you print your receipt. So you can go in any door of the bus. You no longer put your change here or pay when you get on. It's all just like go right onto the bus. They usually have a luggage rack on these buses since they're going to the airport, but I usually just keep my luggage with me. And when you go to exit the bus, you're going to hit this yellow tape, and that's what triggers the door to open at your stop. And in the meantime, just look out the window and enjoy the view, because you'll be able to see the horizon of Manhattan as you come in. And the most important part of taking the free shuttle is make sure you get off at the shuttle stop, because sometimes you can't always hear the bus driver. So it is the Roosevelt Jackson Avenue stop is where you're going to stop. Now to get onto the subway, you can either swipe here, or you can use your credit card to tap if you haven't bought a subway ticket yet. But we are preparing ahead and we already got the unlimited and everything, but you can now pay from your phone, and there's a number of other ways to pay. So you can look into that if you want, but I'm just showing you the easiest way for me personally, and that is the unlimited MetroCard, because you just swipe and go, and it makes it really easy. Now, as you're going down into the subway, make sure you're going in the right direction. See, this one says Manhattan and Brooklyn. And as you walk down further, you're going to see an express lane and a locals lane. So depending on which stop you're going to, make sure you take the right train. Obviously, the express train is going to be a lot faster, and the local is going to take a little more time. And if you get a little turned around, there are maps in every subway car, so it's really easy to navigate yourself around the city. And people will always help you too. Like, New Yorkers are pretty chill. Like, you have to think of it in a mind of everybody's just trying to get to work or get somewhere. So if anybody's ever rude or anything, they're just trying to literally get where they're trying to go. That's what Manhattan is all about. Just like, people might even push past you on this escalator because they're like trying to catch the next train connection to wherever they're trying to go. But I don't know, Manhattan is very like, nobody's paying attention to you. Everybody's just on route to go somewhere. Here's an example of the difference between the local is the circle and the express is the diamond. So that way you know which train you're waiting for. And as you can see over there, that's the express lane, and your local lane is a totally separate lane. So make sure you are on the right track. Again, New York with the signage, it's always going to tell you where to go. If you see an arrow like that points kind of around, this means you're going to keep walking past the stairs and keep walking, and keep walking, basically. So as we're walking, this is the perfect time to hit that like, hit a comment if you have any questions so far. I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, here we go. I'll keep you on our journey. Most train stations are going to have an escalator and an elevator. So that's the elevator that we just passed on the right-hand side. As you saw when we first got off the train, the escalator was at the far end of the platform. And now I'm going to take you down into the 7 train. The 7 train runs horizontal in the city, and the train we were just on goes like vertically up and down Manhattan. So this one is going to take you to the other train stops. And there are also train stops in this particular station, but I'm just trying to show you all the different ways to get around in the subway. And just so you know, there are levels, right? So for you to transfer, we would have had to go up the stairs that we had previously seen, and then we're going to have to walk over to another station which is attached through this underground tunnel. But since we're going to a different train, this train is the 7 train, we had to go down underground, and now we're going underground even further to get to that train. So I hope that makes sense. And a lot of times on the subway there is construction, so make sure you read these signs because otherwise you're not going to get where you're going. And as you go down into the subway, just be aware because people are going to be rushing up, rushing down, because as the trains come in, sometimes people are, kind of pushing down the stairs to try and catch the train. So just get out of the way. And if you look down at the bottom, there will be like a little feet sign or like a step aside sign. And that's how you know where the doors are going to land within the platform. So that may help you find a good spot to get onto the subway train. Just throwing that out there. And one of the major things when you're going on the subway is let people off first. Like, a lot of people try to kind of crowd onto the subway, but if you let everyone off, look at all the seats that are available. And it's all open seating, so sit wherever you want. Just look before you sit because you never know what the person before you has left on the seat. I've seen so many things in my lifetime in New York. And when you get off the subway, more stairs. Remember all those stairs that you went down, you have to go back up unless you use an escalator or the elevator. So just keep that in mind while you're traveling around because you want to save your feet and save your thighs because New York is all about the running around. So just to warn you, try and conserve your energy as much as you can because traveling around the city really starts to get to you after a while. And I definitely recommend escalators over elevators. They just smell. I'll be real. They just smell. Now I'll tell you a little bit about what you'll see while you're on the subway. So every subway usually has like artwork, and every subway platform will have these mosaics. There's usually even artwork inside the subway itself. And then as you move around the subway stations, you'll see different like movie posters, and you'll see different commercials and things. There will be street performers, there will be different like musicians. There's all kinds of things going on inside the subway. So if you hear loud noises, honestly, it's probably somebody just performing or putting on a spectacle to try and make some money. And when you're leaving the subway, you'll see these kind of entrance exit kind of things. They do go both ways. And if you look up at the sign, it'll tell you what direction you're heading, which will help you so much in the city. Like, you're either going north, west, south, east, so that should help you find which way you're going. And just remember also that sometimes another platform is going to be where the other train is. So for example, this platform is going uptown and this one is going downtown. So just make sure you're always reading the signs to make sure you're going the right direction and that you're in the right spot. And going back to construction, sometimes they have shuttle buses that will take you in between one station to another. So keep an eye out for that during hours of construction. And also don't be surprised if you see construction workers in the subway station. This is pretty normal, especially during the later hours in the day or during weekends when most of the construction is going on. The trains will probably be delayed because of construction, but you'll always have that timer at the top that tells you when the next one is coming. And because of technology, you can always Google it, like when is the next N train coming at 42nd Street Station, and the internet will tell you. And one last thing before I go, I forgot to tell you, when I was talking about the levels of the subway system, there also are outside stations as you get into the boroughs. Most of the ones in Manhattan are underground, but as you go farther out into the boroughs, they'll be above ground. So don't be surprised when you start going outside of the city and you are above ground and you can see the city behind you, because that still means you're going in the right direction. Don't panic. All right, guys, if you have any questions, again, leave them in the comments. Share this with a friend who you know is on their way to New York City soon. And I have a number of other videos about New York City, so check those out too. And hopefully they will take some of the stress out of your travel. You will love New York City. It's so much fun. There's so much to do, so much to see. And generally speaking, it's pretty safe as a city as a whole. So get out there, enjoy yourself, and stop stressing so much. It'll be fine.